Hello everyone, welcome back to Writing My Journey. I thought I'd give a quick update of how it's going. So let's just jump into it. Since January 1st, my book has been either the ebook's been downloaded or it's been purchased 81 times. So that sounds really, really awesome, which it is. I'm glad it's doing good. But that includes me running a free book for 3 days on, what is that? I don't remember what it's called, KDP Select or something. You can run up to 5 days of free books in 3 months. So I went ahead and did 3 days in a row, and I got like 60 downloads on my ebook for free. So sadly, that hasn't really translated into any reviews yet, which is what I was really hoping for, but we'll see. Maybe some will come in. But I have sold a number of books that are just the paperback books. So I'm really excited. And a lot of them, I don't know where they're coming from. So, before when I first published it, I knew a lot of it was friends and family. But these ones, I think they're just finding me organically. I'm not really sure how to check that. I don't know. I've tried to run an ad on it, but I haven't got any clicks on it. Like, it's been barely even getting any shows. Like, what is that word that they use? I'm not remembering it. Impressions. It's been getting very, very few impressions. So I went in and changed the keywords and stuff, hoping that would help, because it's a time management book, but it's specifically for Christians. So if it's showing up and being under just time management, a lot of people probably aren't clicking through because it's not specific to, or it's too specific for them. It's Christian women. So I went and tweaked the keywords, and I'm trying to do it again. And I was only running it on paperback, and now I've added the ebook to it. So that I just did last night. So I'm going to wait and see a few days how that's going, if I'm getting any more impressions, if I'm getting any click through. Because right now it's not hurting me to run ads because no one's clicking through, so it's not costing me anything. So that is my plan for ads, is to just keep trying, tweaking it, seeing keywords, what I can do with it, and still being happy that there's some organic growth, I guess, on its own, because it's made some sales. So that's what I'm doing with that. And then I have been doing the podcast and starting to get that and trying to grow that and advertise that more. So that way, hopefully when I come out with my book, my longer book, I'll have an audience ready for that. So my next thing that I'm doing, so I'm actually taking the transcript from my podcast and putting it on my blog. I think I've told you guys that also. But the next thing I really need to work on is getting a newsletter set up on my blog. I need to figure out how to do all of the set up an email, and then find some different things. Like, here's a freebie if you give me your email, and then you'll get signed up for our newsletter. And so I need to figure that out. And I have done it once in the past, but it was really complicated years ago for me to figure it out and get it all set up where it's like, oh, here's an intro mail that it just immediately gets sent out, and then this immediately gets sent out a couple weeks later. And I remember spending a lot of time working on it. So I've kind of kept putting it off this time because I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But I'm looking at seeing if someone from church will help me with it. They kind of help with a website that their wife runs. And so I'm hoping that he will be able to help me out. I'm willing to pay him. But I'm hoping he can find some time to help me get this set up, so that way it's ready. And as I get more views on the blog, hopefully I can gain emails and be able to reach out that way. So once my book comes out, I'll have an email list I can immediately send things to as well. So as of right now, my TikTok, not going well. Plus, like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing on TikTok. I'm not really putting a lot of effort into it. And then not knowing what TikTok was going to do in the US, I was kind of like, yeah, we're just not doing it. So I have not done anything with TikTok. So right now I'm putting stuff on Instagram occasionally. I need to do better about that. I'm getting a couple stories out a week and then a couple posts out a week. Like, as soon as I get my podcast out, I post to Instagram and Facebook because it connects, saying that I have a new podcast out. And then I put the podcast also on YouTube. So that's coming out. But other than that, Instagram, I'm only managing to get out a couple stories a week. And I really need to post more. And I've made some content. I made like on Canva, I've done some quotes that go with the subject that week. So I need to be getting those and actually posting them, and I'm just not doing it well. And same with Pinterest. Since I've got it going to a blog, I've been making Pinterest pinnable photos inside the transcript that I'm putting into my blog. And so I need to do better about a couple times a week going and repinning from my site, which I haven't been doing very well. So those are some things I need to work on. I need to work on Pinterest, and I need to be more consistent with trying to get something out on Instagram on a regular basis. And I need to work on setting up a newsletter and then keeping up with the blog or with the podcast. I do have something in the works with the podcast that just randomly came up, and it's because it's a Christian thing. It's a ministry opportunity, so it won't make me any money, but it's a way for me to put my podcast on a small news radio, like an online radio station, to be heard by people outside of America. So that way it's just a ministry opportunity to reach more people. So it's probably not going to lead to any kind of money or, selling my book down the road, but it's a bigger reach, and that's always a good thing, right? So that opportunity has presented itself. It won't start until June. So really any podcast I do now will just help line up so that they have a bunch to play before they get to where I actually need to be keeping up with them, if that makes sense. Because I didn't want to be like, I have to get one out every week to meet their deadline. So part of my worry had been like, oh, I do not want to be tied down to having to meet a deadline while also trying to raise my family and not be stressed out about it. So the fact that it's not starting until June, that gives me months of getting out consistent. Hopefully, my plan is weekly podcasts. So by then there'll be so many out that I won't really have to worry about falling behind for them. So that is good, and I'm excited about that. So hopefully that works out, and I'm just seeing little progress at a time, and I'm excited about it. They kind of gave me some feedback on what they thought on my podcast, and wanted me to do things a little bit different, which is good because it gives you a look at what other people are seeing. So it's really nice to have that feedback. I don't know if I told you, my book, I have 3 comments on my book, or 3 reviews on my book that were friends, but they were positive. And so I have, my book has 3 5-star reviews with reviews that actually have pictures and good comments. So I'm really hoping to raise that up just more naturally, because since it's my little book, and I'm not really making that much money off of it at all. I think right now I have it priced so low that the print copy I make, I think, less than $1 on each one that Amazon sends out. So I think I make closer to $2 for the ebook, and then I plan on printing some and having them if I go to shows or things like that. So I'll make more money off of them that way. But right now it's more just to get my name out and learn the process and things like that. So I'm not really worried about making a bunch of money. I'm not sure where that train of thought went from where I started, but that is what I'm doing. So I'd love to hear what you guys are doing and how things are going for you, what kind of success you're seeing, what things you're struggling with, and just how your writing journey is going. So make sure you share below, like this video, and subscribe, and join the journey. Bye.